Why do some people appear to be defying the aging process? What makes the difference? Appearance? Money? Health? The key ingredient is attitude wrapped around a zest for life. They follow their passions and look forward proactively to what comes next, and it shows.
Hello, I'm June Whitaker, and this is Ageless. It's not the number of candles on the cake that count, it's attitude. And today I'm delighted to have with me Lisa Feiner. Welcome.
Thank you.
It's nice to have you here. Lisa has had a diverse personal and professional life, which has led her to work as a holistic life coach and co-founder of Sharp Again Naturally. I love that title, and we'll have to talk about that. You're a founder of Sharp Again Naturally.
Yes, which is a nonprofit that's dedicated to educating the public and the medical community about reversible causes of dementia and Alzheimer's disease, and frankly, memory loss in general.
How interesting. Now, just to touch on something, when someone says they have a senior moment, that's normal?
You know, I think that we all have lapses at various times. I mean, I don't think it really matters how old you are. I've seen 30-year-olds who are under a lot of stress and who don't think clearly, or people who eat a lot of sugar and simple carbs and their minds get fuzzy, they can't think straight. You know, people are nervous in a presentation and lose their train of thought. That can happen at any age.
Right, so it's not necessarily.
So, but I think that in this country, we've come to believe that dementia, or some part of, you know, some amount of memory loss, is a natural part of aging. And I would say that's not really true. It's not. People should be able to hold on to their cognition throughout their lives. And I've heard a lot of people say, oh, well, you know, we're living longer, so naturally people are going to develop dementia. And again, I say, well, not necessarily so. We now know things that cause memory loss, dementia, and what is diagnosed as Alzheimer's disease, that often can be reversed.
Really?
And prevented, because prevention is now a big part of what we do.
So it has to do with lifestyle and nutrition, and what are the ingredients that go into preventing it?
So it's a combination of your genetic makeup. So some people, we've heard of this Alzheimer's gene, which is the APOE gene, and if you get one from your mother and one from your father,
everyone gets one.
Everyone, and so if this runs in the family at a high level, an APOE 3 or 4, then you're more likely to have a problem with dementia or Alzheimer's, because we believe your body is not able to detoxify well on its own. And so these toxins can build up in the body in various forms. It could be from toxins in your food, in the air, in the water, in your home and work environment. It could be heavy metals toxicity from silver fillings, or if you're eating a lot of sushi or steak fish like tuna and swordfish, you know, these big fish that consume other fish. There's a lot of mercury now in the waters. It could be a hormone issue. It could be effects of prescription medications. It could be low-level infections which cause inflammation in the body. Some of those you have pain and you feel, and others you don't. There are people who have Lyme disease, which goes undetected. There is a dementia component to Lyme's disease.
Is there?
To mold toxicity, to when older people especially develop urinary tract infections that are asymptomatic, there is often a dementia component to that, where if it's left untreated. So we're seeing a whole host of causes that the symptoms get manifested. They present as one thing, and if you're not aware that these things could be causing confusion, memory loss, disorientation, you might label it as dementia, but in fact, it could have very specific causes. And so that's what we're here to do, is to tell people, you know, your dementia may be caused by many things.
So how do you actually find that out? I mean, how do you determine that?
So Sharping Naturally, with our Medical and Dental Advisory Board, have identified 9 causative factors, and we know there are more. We like to see the research and know that these things can be backed up by science, so we don't automatically put them on the list, but we know that there are more than even the 9 that we have, and all of these can be evaluated by a practitioner, either through a test or through self-reporting, through other means, and be treated. So whether it's stress, whether it's oxygen, low levels of oxygen due to, let's say, sleep apnea, which often you may not know you have unless you have a partner that says, you know, you stop breathing at night. I get so worried.
The sweeteners, substitute sweeteners like Splenda and those things, is that have anything, is that I looked at your video
on the website.
On the website, and I did pick up that, and I took a note, you know, because
so
everyone uses those things.
Processed foods in general, and those that have chemicals in them, which are obviously not natural, are the things that we are most that we need to be most aware of. And what we don't realize is that using these products over a long period of time, it's like when you put the wrong kind of gas in your car. You know, if you're young, the car, I mean, if the car is new, it's still going to run pretty well. But if you have a 20-year-old car or a car that's older and you keep putting in this bad gas, well, that at some point, it's just going to muck up the works, right? So we can get away with a lot up to a certain point. But again, depending upon your genetic makeup and how well you're able to rid the body of toxins that we're now exposed to in our environment. I mean, that's obviously another causative factor, these toxins. It could be in food, air, water, whatever. That at some point people reach their limit. We call it their toxic body burden. And once that's reached, they will exhibit symptoms. It could be at 50. It could be they could be fine until they're 92. And we have a story of Lorraine, who's on the video on our website, who was fine. And then she started exhibiting symptoms in her 90s. And her son, fortunately, took her to a holistic doctor who was able to address a number of these causes and got her back on track.
That's great. Well, I want to thank you very much for
having me.
Coming today and talking about, I think, a very interesting topic. And I'm sure there's going to be more to learn.
People can go to our website at sharpagain.org and find out more about that aspect. So there's a lot to learn.
Great. Well, thank you very much. And just to sum it up, what is the first thing that comes to your mind when I ask you how do you approach aging gracefully?
Being aware of our bodies and our minds as we get older.
That's great. Thank you very much. This is June Whitaker. This is Ageless. And remember, staying youthful as best as we can leads to aging gracefully. Chronological age is merely a statistic. And I'm June Whitaker, and this is Ageless. Thank you.